Swear. Okay. So, I think I can, so I know I will. He said your faith has made you whole, and I know I'm here. See, we say healthy, wealthy, and wise, gifted in a prize. Blessed to be a blessing, a millionaire in disguise. So you a baller, how your collar is. See, we building up the temple for my Lord. Brick by brick like King Solomon. For the wiles of the devil, there's no tolerance. If you ain't with us, you against us, bro. Alright, then holler in. If you don't know, you better ask Jesus. I ask Jesus, what do I have? I have received. I mean, I try to cling to the cabbage and cream, but even the creativity is just the craft of my king. I mean. Okay, y'all, you know what time it is. It's time for Spitting Sports with your host, Marlon Jackson. Apparently today my co-host is out with some issues, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do the show today by myself, which is fine. You know, bear with me, fans, because I always love you guys tuning in and making sure that we're good and everything's going. So today's topics we're going to talk about is injuries, calls, and I guess we can say comebacks. Let's get started. I think the first thing is when it comes to these calls, I really think that we need to define what a call is, because you got to understand something. Every sport you play is going to be physical, but every physical play shouldn't be a call. Now, certain calls, yeah, they do have their limits of people jumping over somebody's back, or somebody getting elbowed in the nose, or somebody's getting punched in the mouth, or somebody, is stepping on somebody's foot, but those aren't intentional. Now, you can tell by facial expressions if somebody really meant to hurt somebody in certain situations or certain aspects. But these referees, man, it's just like these calls, they're up and down, and it just doesn't make any sense that each call is, overdoing it. You're giving teams, you're costing teams ways to win games, and you're costing teams ways to lose games. And knowing that the better team should have won because certain calls weren't called, it makes it biased. I think it should be a machine, or it should be like a radar that detects, how meaningful the call is before they blow their whistle and give it a response. Because if not, man, these players are going to be losing a lot of money and a lot of time and a lot of games by these calls that these referees make. I just, feel that if they're going to do it the right way. Make it fair for everybody. If you're going to call everything, call everything. If you're not going to call everything, then don't call everything. But don't just make a call based off of what a player says or does, or his arm movement, or the way that he swings his arm, or the way he talks to you. I mean, you can't base it off of that, because if that's the case, then, everybody will get their way, which shouldn't be happening. I think the biggest call that was ever missed, and I was about 4 years old when it happened, was that call in Utah with Michael Jordan, Game 6 of the 1998 NBA Finals, where he, in my opinion, I feel like he pushed off and, took that last shot against Byron Russell, but nobody called it or said anything. His arm clearly, moved Russell out the way, so he was able to get the shot off. But, that's just my opinion of it. But I know how other people are going to feel by it. And I just think, Jordan wouldn't have gotten that six ring if he didn't, not get a call. And he should have gotten a call. But that's basketball for you. Not everything's going to go your way. But that was the biggest bailout for Jordan, I feel like, in his entire career, was when they didn't call that shot on him. And I guess, like you said, GOATs or great players get special privileges, so that's how that goes. But for sure, I just don't think that, it shouldn't be that way. But like I said, I'm not in the NBA, so I don't know how that works. But so moving into the next topic, I'm looking at these playoffs, man. These playoffs, man, it's so interesting because Kendrick Perkins and everybody on First Take was saying that if it wasn't an injury playoffs, that it would have been a different outcome for these teams that are in the Final Four. These teams are the last team standing, and I agree and disagree. Yeah, it would have been a whole different turn of events, but injuries are a part of the game. They happen. Look at football, look at basketball, look at baseball. I mean, we can't control an injury. All we can do is, come up with our next our next set of players, and hopefully that they can contribute. And Phoenix has had the best depth I've seen in this playoffs in every series. If one guy's out, they still got other guys ready to step up and play. If one guy's, not contributing, another guy's ready to step up and play. And that says a lot about them, and I congratulate them a lot for making it all the way to the NBA Finals in almost 30 years. And I just feel like, you can't take away what they did because of injuries. I mean, if the Lakers had a healthy LeBron James and Anthony Davis, it could have been a different playoffs, but we don't know that because, they were injured. If they had a full, healthy Jamal Murray, could they have beaten Denver? Maybe not, but who knows? We would never find out because, Murray didn't play. There's always next year. And then could they have beat a full Clippers team with Kawhi Leonard and Serge Ibaka? Probably not. But like you said, injuries are a part of the game. So things happen. And like I said, no taking nothing away from them because, like I said, everybody on Denver has had injury teams before, and it happens. But not much we could do about it. Can't control everything. We can only control what we can. But hats off to the Phoenix Suns for making it to the next round, and hopefully, they can close it out and win them a championship. Because I hope God knows that team deserves it after the way that they've been playing. Next thing I would say.
Hello, good morning.
What's up, buddy?
I'm Frank and the therapist.
Oh, good.
Yep. We got some in and out.
Okay. Let's see. Next best thing, I would say coaching. I mean, these coaches, it's a lot going on with them. You can't really fire coaches because of the way that the team is playing or the way that these injuries are happening, man. I mean, it's not the coach's fault that these players are getting injured. These players are playing too hard for them, not to contribute. Like I said, they get paid so much money to play these games, and they get so much money to contribute and do a lot that it just, throws everything off. But I think that's it for the main part. Congratulations to Chris Paul. I just feel that he's finally, after 16 long years, deserves where he's at, and needs to give a lot of credit to it because he took in a team that was, bottom of the seed and took him to a top seed to help them win games. I just think without him, who knows where this Phoenix Suns team would have ended up. We probably would have heard of them eventually down the line, but not this early. So hats off to him for the good and the bad, and the constructive criticism. I just think at the end of the day, Phoenix is just the best team I've seen, and I ain't saying they're going to be a dynasty the next few years, but they are going to make some noise in the NBA with the pieces that they have. So we'll see how that goes. But as far as the rest, I'll probably cut this short only because it's just me today. Not really much to talk about. I just felt like I needed to get this show out just so that you guys don't miss anything and we can stay on topic. So that being said, continue to keep watching, continue to keep supporting, continue to just, subscribe, like, tune in. Hopefully, my co-host will be back next week and we'll, have more to discuss with you. But for now, that's it. Enjoy these playoffs. Enjoy your vacation. Enjoy the 4th of July. And I'll see you guys next week.